KVGC News Time, now 7 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock. Well, there were some small spot fires on the side of Shake Ridge Road yesterday. Fire crew, CHP, and sheriff's personnel responded. Found grass and brush on fire near Bunkhouse Road. Fire personnel quickly arrived and contained it. One home was evacuated for safety reasons, and law enforcement stayed to assist with traffic control until the scene was cleared. It's believed that it possibly was started by a vehicle or trailer traveling on Shake Ridge Road. The exact cause still under investigation. CAL FIRE and the CHP both say be sure that your vehicles are properly serviced and that all trailers are safe to use on roadways. Remember, a flat tire or trailer safety chain can easily start a fire that results in a loss of life or property. Around 10 o'clock in Calaveras County, firefighters quickly extinguished a roadside vegetation fire on Highway 12 in the Burson area. That fire scorched about a quarter of an acre, also believed to have been started by a boat trailer. And around 11 o'clock, crews were able to quickly get a handle on a fire that burned in the area of 6 Mile Road and Old Murphy's Road near Vallecito. That fire was contained at 1.5 acres. CAL FIRE reminds everybody fire conditions are extremely high, not only locally but throughout the state.
And the Ione City Council continued the discussion of bringing a solar power plant to the city. Meeting last night, the council discussed a proposal to build a solar farm on city property on 5 Mile Drive next to the city sewer plant. Now, the project would be built and operated by a private company and provide electricity to run both of the city's treatment plants. The city would receive the power at a discounted rate, guaranteed for 20 years, at which point the city has the option of buying the facility outright. Now, after many questions about the financial structure of the proposal and one threat from a neighbor to sue to block the project, the council voted to table the matter until the next meeting to gather more info and to allow 2 absent council members a chance to weigh in on it. Now, if the 10-acre plan is approved, Ione would join the Amador School District in hosting solar power facilities to reduce power cost. And in other business, the council approved an updated document retention policy for the city and approved an additional company to offer energy-related home improvements paid for through the property tax roll. Oh, there are now 4 such companies that offer this financing in the city.
And a new police officer has joined the Sutter Creek Police Department Monday night in front of family and friends. Jim McKinnon was sworn in as the newest member of the Sutter Creek Police Department. Officer McKinnon was introduced to the City Council by Officer Robert Harmon, who was part of the selection committee and will serve as his field training officer. After taking the oath of office administered by City Clerk Karen Darrow, Officer McKinnon's badge was pinned on by his wife, Amy. Officer McKinnon is a familiar face around Sutter Creek, having previously served as part of the police department as a reserve officer. He most recently worked as a police officer with the Angels Camp Police Department and is also a decorated Navy veteran.
Well, California gas prices have dropped nearly 12 cents since peaking after Memorial Day, but tightening supplies and booming gas demand, forcing motorists to pay the highest August pump prices in 4 years. According to AAA, California's average price for a gallon of unleaded regular gas just under $3.60 a gallon. Prices in the Golden State have been steadily falling since June 3rd, when the state's average was $3.74 a gallon, the highest price of 2018. Now, AAA reports gasoline demand flattened in July, and that brought some price relief to motorists. But demand for gas still incredibly high in the U.S. due to the country's booming economy, especially on the West Coast. And while some analysts predicted $4 average gas prices for California, gas demand flattened in July for the first time since 2012, causing pump prices to drop. Now, for Amador County, the average price for unleaded gas, $3.15 a gallon. In Calaveras, the average currently running at $3.25 a gallon. While gas prices in California have been falling since June, motorists are still paying nearly 80 cents more than the national average of $2.85 per gallon.
Well, ACART's next monthly training meeting will be held tonight, 6:30, at the American Legion Training Room. Tonight's training will focus on intake procedures of animals during an emergency. Guests are welcome tonight. This is your chance to learn and understand why and how ACART fits in to the emergency response system here in Amador County. For more details on ACART, visit AmadorAnimalResponse.org.
And local veterans invited to attend the monthly Upcountry Veterans Lunch today, held on the second Wednesday every month from 11:30 to 1:30 at the Pioneer Veterans Hall in Pioneer. The gathering is sponsored by the Call Church and American Legion Post 108. Veterans can enjoy lunch, various indoor and outdoor games, or just the fellowship of others. For more info, contact Lori Sanders at 418-9695.
That's a quick look at local news on a Gold Country. Wednesday morning. Now, speaking of the fire, speaking of the smoke, later on this morning at 8:30, we'll replay an interview that MC conducted yesterday with Jim McCargue of the Amador Air Pollution Control District and Amador Health Officer Dr. Rita Kerr, talking about the smoke and so forth. Amador County has brand new health monitors, and they show right now that we are at an unhealthy range. And Dr. Kerr said, best thing you can do is to stay indoors when it's like this. In fact, at one point yesterday, around 11 o'clock or so, we were monitoring the meters, and they were up in the very unhealthy range. So be careful out there. Again, if you have to do any strenuous work, take breaks, and best off just stay inside, especially if you have chronic illness or disease. That's a look at local news, sponsored today by Howard's Body Shop and Volcano Communications. From the KVGC News Center,
I'm JD.
And I'm Jim Geedy reporting. Remember, for the latest news, traffic, and weather 24 hours a day, visit our website, kvgcradio.com.